Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss degree first year second sem English mock test question paper along with solutions. Okay. So the first section consists of section A, and this is for 20 marks. 8 questions will be given and you have to answer 5 questions out of the 8, and this is a totally an objective type of paper. That means the section A is objective type and section B will be subjective. So let us begin the questions. First one, answer as directed, and the first bit is he was the most learned fool in the country. Identify the oxymoron. You remember in the first unit 5 you have the vocabulary under oxymorons. Oxymorons are the two opposite things placed together, juxtaposed together, are called oxymoron. So if you look at this sentence, he was the most learned fool in the country. The oxymoron is learned fool. Learned is a wise person and fool is an unwise person. So these are the two contradictory terms which are placed side by side. So that is called as an oxymoron. It's given on page number 97. All of you can just revise all the oxymorons given on the same page. Second one, I have told you 100 times to wash the dishes. Underline the hyperbolic expressions. These expressions are given on page number 98, and hyperbolic expressions are the exaggerations. You go beyond the naturality, you go beyond the practicality and reality. That is called as hyperbolic expression. So I have told you 100 times to wash the dishes. So 100 times is the hyperbolic expression here. It's not real. Okay, nobody will tell 100 times, but to emphasize they tell I have told you 100 times. Okay, and there is a famous punch dialogue also in the movies, ఒక్కసారి చెప్తే 100 సార్లు చెప్పినట్టు, in one of the movies. So that is a hyperbolic expression. So I've told you 100 times to wash the dishes, and 100 times is the hyperbolic expressions. Refer to page number 98. There are many such expressions there. She has been dash wear this expensive watch for quite some time now. Fill in with the correct form of the verb or the verb form. It's given on page number 101, and she has been wearing this expensive watch. Has been wearing, that means it's a present perfect continuous tense. Okay, all the 12 tenses you should learn, and I have already done this done a video on these tenses, 12 tenses. I'm giving the link in the description box. All of you can refer to that. So avatar, banyan, guru, dash. From which language the given words are taken from? So this is the loan words, the borrowed words, and these words are taken from Indian languages. Like that, many languages are there where English has borrowed words from. Okay, Arabic, Spanish, Greek, Latin, Telugu, Urdu. From all these languages, English has borrowed words. You remember what are the Telugu words English language has borrowed? Ayyo, Ayya, and Urdu words Abba, Acha. These are the words English has borrowed from Telugu and Urdu. Many bandobast, bazar, like that, many words are there. Because English is not an original language, it has borrowed, it has to borrow from all the other languages. Okay, that is the first question. And coming to the second question, answer as directed. And you remember, you have to answer all the 4 bits given in each question. It's not that 2 from A, 2 from the second bit, 3 from the third bit, not like that. From one question, 4 bits are given, all the 4 you are supposed to answer. Identify the word borrowed from Japanese language. So these loan words are given on page number 119. You can refer to them. Opera, karaoke, jungle, and beef. These are the 4 words, and the word borrowed from Japanese language is karaoke. Karaoke is the word. The clothes might look clean, but they aren't. Underline the helping verb here. A helping verb also, I have done a video, students. If you are interested, you can just check the link which is given in the description box. So what is the helping verb here? Might look clean. So might is the helping verb here, possibility. I love the seaside, but I dash know how to swim. Choose the correct auxiliary verb here. Can't, do, may, don't. These are the short forms. Okay, short forms of the negatives. So I love the seaside, but I don't know how to swim. Frenemy. These, this is a combination of words. It is called as portmanteau words, which is given on page number 134. Identify the original words. This is a combination of two words. So friend and enemy becomes frenemy. Okay, these are called portmanteau words. Third question. Answer as directed. Jeans plus leggings forms which portmanteau word? So create the portmanteau word with these two words. So jeans plus leggings becomes jeggings. Okay. Next one. I want to buy some vegetables. Identify the non-finite verb. So it's given on page number 135. All the non-finite verbs are also, I made a video. Those who are interested, you can check the link which is given in the description box. So I want to buy some vegetables. Here the non-finite is to plus verb, to plus buy. So do buy is the non-finite verb. Three types of non-finite verbs are there. You can just check them. Traveling is my favorite hobby. Identify the underlined word. So this here it is underlined, traveling. So what is the function of this particular parts of speech? So is it auxiliary or is it non-finite? Is it gerund or is it participle? So it is a gerund because though the word is looking like a verb, it is doing the job of a noun. Traveling is my favorite hobby. What is your favorite hobby? Traveling. So when it is answering the question, what, it becomes a noun. So verb acting like a noun is called as a gerund. Like that, all the non-finite verbs are there. Just check it. D. Her eyes sparkle like diamonds. Choose the literary device. So there are some literary devices given over there, similes and metaphors. All of you check on page number 148. So what is the literary device here? Sparkled like diamonds. If in a comparison the word like is used, then it becomes a simile. So the answer is simile. Answer as directed. Again, fourth question. This city is a concrete jungle. Choose the literary device. So again, a simile, metaphor, oxymoron and hyperbole. So this city is a concrete jungle. It is not telling like the city is like a concrete jungle. So city is compared to a concrete jungle and the comparison is declared. So when the comparison is declared without the usage of the words like and as, it becomes a metaphor. So the answer is metaphor. Bells for the feet of blue pigeons, frail as a dragonfly's wing. Remember these lines in the stanza, students? If you remember, this is from your first sem in the Bazaars of Hyderabad. That is the poem. Identify the two things being compared here. Here we are not dealing with the poem, it is only the literary device. So here a comparison is being made, a simile is being used, but they want you to identify two things. What are the two things which are being compared here? So bells and the dragonfly's wing. So bells for the feet of the blue pigeons, frail as dragonfly's wing. How are the bells? They are very delicate, very delicate. That shows the finality of the workmanship of the goldsmiths. So they have made the bells so frail, so delicate as a dragonfly's wing. Remember the dragonfly's wings? They are very, very transparent and very delicate, very thin. So that is the comparison. So here the frail as a dragonfly's wings. So bells are made as frail as dragonfly's wings. So here the words are frail and dragonfly's wing. That is the answer. Of course bells are compared, but the description is frail and dragonfly's wing. C. I dash the bell many times, but no one opened. Fill in the blanks with the correct form. I rang the bell many times. Rung is wrong because there should be some perfect tense like have rung, has rung, like that. So rang is the answer. Just the past tense. My sister always works hardly. Correct the sentence. Here it is an adverb hardly, but it is an incorrect adverb. Hardly and fastly are the two exceptions if you remember. This is from the last unit, 8th unit, page number 151. So my sister always works hard. No ly. Almost all the adverbs get ly, but here hard and fast. Suppose my brother runs fast, you have to say. You cannot say my brother runs fastly. So fastly and hardly are the two words you have to remember which do not take ly forms. Fifth question. A. I reached on time because I left home dash. Fill in the blanks with the adverb. Here early only is correct. Because I left home early. That is the adverb. She came in quickly. Identify the type of adverbs. There are few types of adverbs, six types of adverbs are given on page number 151. You can refer to them. Here, it is answering the question how. How did she come? She came in quickly. So that tells the manner. When it is answering the question how, then it is the manner. So it's the manner, adverb of manner. That is the answer. Frequency, how many times? Time, when. And place, where. So when it is answering the question where, it is the adverb of place. When it is answering the question when, it is adverb of time. When it is answering the question how many times, it is adverb of frequency. When it is answering the question how, then it is adverb of manner. See, the new ship is too far. How? Identify the type of adverb. Here also you have to identify the type of adverb. So, too far, it is telling the degree. How far? Means it is too far. Very strong. Very is also another adverb which describes the degree or intensity. The other word for degree is intensity. So, it tells too far. Too is the adverb of degree. That is your answer. You can refer to all the types of adverbs on page number 151. London is a melting pot. Choose the literary device. Again, the literary device. Again, the declaration is there. London is like a melting pot. It becomes a simile. But if you declare London is a melting pot, then it is a metaphor. The literary device is metaphor. Now coming to the sixth question. Develop the following hints into a paragraph. So they have given you some hints, then you have to develop into a paragraph. No shame in failure, everyone fails, attitude to failure important, demoralized by failure, no gain, bold resolution leads to victory, be confident, optimistic and all. So they have given you the hints and they want you to develop the paragraph, and there are three important structures you have to remember, three important aspects of developing a paragraph. First you have to formulate the topic sentence, then the supporting sentence, then concluding sentence. These are the three important aspects of a paragraph. So paragraph writing, again you have to refer to page number 108. 7. Briefly explain about sequencing, in which order the sentences should be arranged. So sequencing is a technique of writing a paragraph and how you have to arrange the sentences. So sequencing is used for description of a process. When you are describing a process, then you will use the technique called sequencing. And there are many ways of sequencing. You can use the connectives like first, second, third, fourth, like that you can use, or the contrasting, however, whereas, but, like that you can use, or similarly, in the same way you can use. And when you conclude the paragraph, you have to use consequently, finally, at the end. Like these are the linkers you have to use. And the three main steps in sequencing is done is your chronological order. You have to write, suppose you are describing a process. So you will go according to the events which have happened. That is called as a chronological order. And there is a special sequencing also. Suppose you are describing a house, so you will give all the details of the appearance, how the house appears, or what is the size, what is the shape, what is the color, all these things you describe using the sequential order. Then the logicality, the meaningful arrangement of the sentences is called as logical arrangement. So that is how the sequencing takes place. Write a brief descriptive paragraph on any one of the following topics. They have given some topics and you have to write a descriptive passage or a descriptive paragraph. Page number 137, all the aspects of descriptions are given there and there are the 4 topics. Remember one thing, whenever you are describing something, your basic strategy would be involve all the 5 senses into it. That means you will be giving the details of the senses, how it looks like, the vision. Suppose you are describing a house, so you can describe all the appearances, what colors are given, what shapes are given. So you add color, you visualize, you make the reader visualize what you are describing. Even when you are describing a person also, you first give the external appearance of the person, his height, his weight, his looks, and all you will be describing. Then you will suppose you are describing any kind of traveling experience, so what all sounds you can listen, or suppose you are describing a place where where what are the senses you can feel, whether it is cold or whether it is hot, or whether what kind of feeling you get, that you are going to describe. So all the 5 senses have to be activated in your description. So that gives a kind of visualization to the reader. So that is about descriptive paragraph. Students, all of you remember this. This is about your section A. Now let's move on to section B, the descriptive, so the subjective part of the answers. Now moving on to section B, you have to answer any 4 of the given questions, and each question carries 15 marks. Altogether it carries to 60 marks in total. Okay. Let us look at the 9th question. So 8 are from section A and 9th question starts in the section B. Section B starts with the 9th question. Describe the end of the banyan tree in your own words. What reactions did its cutting provoke among members of the speaker's family? So you have to remember what are the emotions and what are the consequences of cutting the banyan tree. Remember the first poem, The Felling of the Banyan Tree? So from that, this question is picked up. Unit 5. So the end of the banyan tree has been depicted in a very touching manner. You remember the reactions of especially the poet reaction. So the felling of the banyan tree, and it's written by Dilip Chitri, if you remember, and it is his own biographical element. When he has to move from Baroda to Bombay, then how the transformation has impacted on the mind of the poet. So that is very touching. Actually, he didn't want it, and he could not forget the felling of the banyan tree. Such a huge banyan tree. It has evoked a kind of fear, a surprise, and a kind of fascination also. Such a big tree is being cut off. So all those emotions you have to write under this question. Then the 10th question, why did the lawyer give up the money he had won? What is your personal opinion on the banker's reaction to the lawyer's decision? You remember, this is from Unit 5, the bet. Lesson's name is the bet. The lawyer enters into a bet, and he would uh, want to stay in a confinement for 15 years. For 15 years, he reads through many books, a huge amount of books, and then he undergoes a transformation. His total personality changes, and he says that I have gained all the experience which you people gain staying outside, and he gives a big account of all the experiences he has undergone. And then finally he comes to that state of mind, he doesn't want any money as the wager, the $2 million he would get it, but he says I don't want any money. So you have to write your personal opinion, whether you accept the lawyer's decision or you do not accept the lawyer's decision. You have to write over there. 11th question. Explain what the speaker is trying to convey in the last 3 stanzas of the poem A Walk by the Moonlight. You remember the poem, a very beautiful poem titled Walk by the Moonlight. So if you remember, the poem A Walk by the Moonlight gives us a kind of reforming and a refreshing kind of experiences to the reader. And the last three stanzas especially, they provide a kind of pilgrimage to the reader as if he's traveling and he gets a beautiful experience of walking through the moonlight. At the same time, he becomes a kind of pilgrim as if he's making a spiritual journey. His transformation from the amazing physicality, and then he goes to a spiritual kind of experience. That kind of transformation is explained in the last three stanzas of the poem. Finally, he comes to that state of sensitivity that he feels that he could hear the heartbeat of the grass blades also. So he wanted to be very, very careful, not even to stamp on the grass. So he becomes so sensitive. So that is the explanation given in the last three stanzas. So in the 12th question, what reasons does Sahasranamam provide for the speedy development and deployment of the innovative ideas listed in his essay? In his essay, the coronavirus, how the coronavirus has led or has paved way for the beautiful innovations. There are 10 to 12 innovations which are discussed in the essay. So you can just remember them and you can write about all those essays and the evolution of the technology after the episode of the coronavirus, COVID-19. Then the 13th question, who is Pan and why does the poet suppose he might have immigrated to India? So if you recollect Sujata Bhatt's poem, A Different History, gives us an account of how the languages have an impact on the other languages. Here she refers to Pan, the ancient Greek god who represents the wild animals and the wild nature and all, and how he, personification, of course, how he has an effect on the other languages. That's what she's trying to tell, and how the language, especially this English language, started dominating all the other local languages and other the cultural languages, and how the languages are getting extinct. That is what she is trying to convey in the poem, The Different History. So 14th question, what are the characteristics of a dead language as outlined by Morrison? So here Toni Morrison, she expresses her concern for the languages which are going to be extinct. And she says a dead language is, she compares a dead language to the bird in the lesson, if you remember. Okay, and then it becomes so vulnerable so that all other languages start dominating over that language. So who is responsible for the demise of any language? She says the users. That means we, the people who use other languages and people who get influenced by the other languages and people who become submissive to the dominance of other languages are responsible for any language to get for any language to become dead. And then a dead language becomes very weak and gradually it fades away from the lives of the people. Then the 15th question, what is your impression of Lady Macbeth based on reading the extract? So if you read the extract, if you remember how she tries to manipulate her husband into killing the king of Scotland, Duncan. She says, you know, the the prophecies made by the witches is true, and you have to kill the king, then uh, the prophecies will come true. So she successfully manipulates her husband's uh, intentions and she brainwashes her husband. That is how the Lady Macbeth is characterized in the extract. Then the last question, which incident lead to Shaw becoming sought out as a socialist orator? Narrate the incident briefly and in your own words. You remember Bernard Shaw was very shy and very a timid person in the beginning. He could not even speak a single line in a public, but finally he becomes the world famous, world renowned orator. How do you think he has become a world renowned orator? There is a particular incident. Hope all of you have read that incident, which is given in Unit 8. So the incident which really triggered the ability, the inner ability of Shaw to become an orator was once he was invited by a radical club to speak on socialism, and the topic given to him was thieves. So first he thought he would prepare a speech, then he was very doubtful about a prepared speech, and then he decided to speak extempore, and he spoke for 1 hour. First he thought he couldn't even speak for 10 minutes, but finally he was able to speak for 1 hour continuously, and that became a stepping stone for him, and he became a world famous, renowned orator, or the speaker, public speaker. That So that is about your paper, 80 marks paper, 20 marks for your section A and 60 marks for your section B. There you have to answer 5 objective type bits, and here you have to answer 4 essay type questions for 15 marks each. Thanks for watching, and if this tutorial had made sense, please like, share, and do not forget to subscribe. That means a lot for me. Okay, bye bye for now, and let's meet up in the next video. Bye, take care.